Hello and welcome to Yvonne's Seaside Cottage. Today is a very exciting day. I've just seen a video from Roxy Creations, Rachel and Sarah, and they've announced their new prompt for the Roxy Creations Volume 8. So I've gathered a few things. I've been gathering them for a while in anticipation. It's very, very exciting. So I thought I'd just share with you just quickly what I've gathered. This could all change. Things happen, don't they? And we change our mind. We're allowed to do that. So let's just have a quick look. First up, I've never made a quilt before, so this is going to be a real fun thing to do. And in my op shop travels, I have found, and the quilt will be for my granddaughter, little Miss Ruby. So, hello Miss Ruby if you're watching. So yes, in my travels, I have found this really lovely pink wool blanket. So one side it is very busy, which is fine because I can cover all that up. But it actually has got, on the inside, it's got Ruby, which is probably back to front on the camera, but nonetheless, written on it. What a coincidence that is. Who would believe? And it's still got a lot of wear in the little woolly blanket. Quite a light blanket, which is really good for the Queensland climate. As you can see, it's the middle of winter here, and it's just a glorious, glorious day. It can be chilly, that wind, however. And then in the middle of this little blankie is a big heart. Oh, how cute is that? And there's a little tiny, someone's, lovingly stitched that. I'd have to watch Miss Ruby, although these are stitched on really, really well, but you know what little fingers are like. But there's a little, I'm not sure what that is, but it's very cute. So that'll be the wool foundation. I'm thinking potentially this could all change as we go along. So at least I've got a thought pattern anyway. And then another upshot find was this, and I think it's probably machine stitched, but I thought, well, that could be good. This could be quite nice. There'll be a lot of flicking of fabric in this, so be warned. This really nice cotton, quite thin to stitch into. So I'm not too sure, but each corner's got some little appliqued flowers, but plenty of room in between for stitching on. Nice little bit in the middle there, rather than flicking. Thought I'd just sit here at the window, and rather than flicking hands and material just under the camera, you have a nice view out my lovely window. So that's sort of going to be the beginning of the background. And then I'm a bit like Sarah, I love my little birdies. And here in the winter we've still got swallows. Other places they migrate somewhere else, but here there's still little swallows flying around. And this has got quite a few stains on it, but a gorgeous, gorgeous piece of linen to stitch into, potentially. And it's got these lovely branches, the little swallow going that way. And I think they're called welcome swallows here in Australia. They're very welcoming. There you go. And a little swallow going that way. So that's another little piece that I can be adding on there. Sorry, excuse me, rubbing my nose. There's all sorts of bugs and things flying around at this time of year. And from the doily perspective, I don't have a lot of doilies, but I did find a couple. So there's a cute little butterfly, and there's two of those, so that's a potential. Lovely little pretty little flowers on them. So those are potentials to go with that. This is a little heart-shaped, don't know if you can see the crinoline lady on there, and it's got these three little birds, nice lace, so it's a nice girly thing to put on a lovely blanket. Funnily enough, my eyesight's not overly good. Silly Nana. I looked and I thought they were little holes, but they're little birds. Oh, well, there you go. Also with a bit of the pink thing, because it's, you know, it'll be pink and green. And yeah, there's a little Major Mitchell, which is an Australian parrot that's beautifully stitched. There's a few odd little stains on this, but a very nice piece of linen. So that's a potential. I don't know what the prompts will be, but anyway. And then this was, I found, it was not an op shop find. This was, I found it on eBay and I couldn't resist it. But I'm thinking that could be quite nice to pop on. Another little criminal lady. And there's the birds again. That's when I realised that they were in holes. I went, oh, they're birds. Oh dear, oh dear. And then to fill in the gap, you know, in between having your doilies and all that sort of thing, I've got a few vintage fabrics, which are super cute. I've been collecting these for a very long time. These have been collected over many years. It's little children, which can just, depending on what the prompts are, pop in there. This is a Pampered Pooch by Chloe. Little piece there, the cute little doggies on it. That might make the grade. And then of course there's always, this is Quilting Treasures. So it will be a Beatrix Potter one. You can't have a kid's quilt without a bit of Beatrix in there. So that they may pop out somewhere, which will be fun to have. Another piece of vintage material, which has just got little cars and wagons and eggs and some rain. So there's nice little words on that, which could be really good. And then there's this little one. I have no idea where this came from, but it's got little rabbits on it. So cute, little bunnies, and there's a little story with it. Let's see, what does it say? You are the reason that I am called, so my grandchildren can share. Oh yeah, so there you go. Something, is that upside down? It might be actually. There we go. There you go. That's a bit better, isn't it? This one's a bit more modern, but it's got some pretty little girls on it. So that'll be fun to add. And then a kind of, that I've collected over some time, is these little pages out of, they're a material out of old children's books, and I love chickens. I just really love chickens. On the back is a plain little duck, little duckies on there, so that's other things. And then of course an Australian, it must have been an Australian book, this came out, and I washed it. It was quite a, you know, sort of quite a good size. And there's a Brumby, and I washed it and it shrunk. I took it out of the wash and I went, I'm sure that was bigger. So the Brumbies are the wild horses of Australia. So that's a cute little thing too. I don't know where this came from. It could have been from the, excuse me flicking it, but it has some nice little elements on it that again, the chooks and the baskets and you know, depending on what the prompts are, and we'll be able to pop these little things in there. This little piece of material is cute little bits and bobs that can be added. Just thoughts. It's another very old piece. Actually, I think I got that. Oh, it would have been an op shop find, I'm sure. Yeah. So, you know, there's some of my ideas. Is there anything else? Oh, this little piece of fabric here, which isn't old, but it's a piece of Japanese fabric, and it actually has tiny little bunnies in there. They have a certain name, these bunnies, which is very difficult to see, but it's a nice sort of vintagey look about it. And this is Debbie Mum, I think. These are cute. Yeah, these are cute. I actually made the huswoof out of these. But again, they've got some chooks on them. Nice little chookies and strawberries. So lots of things to pop on the Miss Ruby quilt for the Roxy Journal's Stitchery Vol8. Very exciting. And just at the end of this video, it's only going to be a very short one, I received from Sobe Created, I have another parcel coming, but I particularly wanted, excuse my head bobbing around, I particularly wanted back from Sobe Created shop just beautiful packaging. This will be recycled. Stunning. I love pink. Oh my God. So there's only a little tiny parcel in here, but I just thought I'd share it for you. Nice little card that came with it from the shop with all the vintage things. Beautifully packaged. So I'm wrinkling a bit, so bear with me. Crinkle, crinkle. Now, I have been having a lot of trouble with needles, and Beck has recommended these Bowen needles. They're also a needle that Jennifer Clouston uses. She uses some Bowen needles. I thought I'd give them a try because when I started slow stitching, just bought, run-of-the-mill needle. And no. And I've had trouble with thread too, catching and knotting, and so I've got some of this lovely thread that Beck uses. It's a really nice thread. I'll link it it's Metla thread, and that's the one that she uses. It's a really nice colour. I can see that it's a good colour. Ran out of the big one, but 3 little ones are fine for me, because then I can that will work out really well, because I can have one in my travel box, one in my kit where I sew by the TV, and one in the art room. So yes, I'm right for thread. And then I saw this fabric, and I thought, oh yes, now that little bunnies, look at these little bunnies. They are going to go, and I quite like that they're very vintage. They are going to go on the ruby quilt, and quite plain. And also, I've got another parcel coming from Beck next week, but I needed to get cracking because I will be in Bathurst at the end of the month. And for my very, very dear old friend who I've had for many, many years, we're catching up for Ruby's birthday, and she loves Appaloosa horses. So I'm going to make her a little needle book, and this is called Quilting Cotton Ponies, Style and something or other. Gorgeous little ponies on there. And a story, it's a little Appaloosa pony there. Oh, Miss Izzy, is there a big dog down there that's very frightening? It's okay. How about you come over here? There's a good girl. Yes, I think the neighbour's dog's barking. Nonetheless, if it's really loud, I'll be. So, yeah, interesting story about my good friend. I'll just pause for a minute because there's a ruckus in the neighbour. So just to carry on, my very dear friend Hazel, when I was living on the farm, Hazel had bred an Appaloosa horse called Tex, and I'd had my daughter, and I wanted to get back in riding anyway. Hazel would take me out on Tex. He was the dearest thing, he really was. He would just amble along whatever speed you wanted, and Hazel had broken him in and trained him herself, and he lived till I think he was 30. Lovely Appaloosa horse. So I'm very fond of them, and I know she'd appreciate a little needle book with Appaloosa horses on it. So I've ordered from Beck a needle kit because I need to get it stitched really quickly, which will be really good for me, so I don't have to go through 100 different fabrics. And now I've got the horse to put in there, so stay tuned for that one. It'll be another quick little needle book video as a gift for her. They make lovely gifts, and such a handy thing to have. Anyway, that was just a quick catch up on my ideas for my Roxy Journal of Stitchery Vol8. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Hooroo! Oh, I thought I was going to end the video there, but I just popped round to see my dad, and on the way home, as you do, I called into the local lifeline, and I thought, oh, the school holidays might be a bit busy. However, I did find some little treasures. So I found this sewing box. The reason I grabbed the sewing box was because I don't have one. I had a wooden one, and it was just a bit big, so I redonated that. It was very heavy. And inside are some goodies. Oh my God, lots of thread. Can you see the surprise eyes on my face. Oh my goodness. And lots of different thread. You know, when you're looking for that perfect colour and you just want thread, you don't necessarily want embroidery thing. So these little packets were $2 and they're, you know, how do you start? I can't get my tongue around it. Gutermann, whatever they are. Little packets of pink. I won't unwrap them because they'll really rustle, which will be quite annoying, quite honestly. And these ones, and they've got the little wooden spools in them, which I love. I've unwrapped these ones. Some of them have only got a tiny little bit of thread on them, but I don't know if the thread will be any good. But it feels pretty strong. And these little tiny little spools, and there's a whole bag of them. The little spools, and they've kind of grouped them together, which was very nice of the ladies to have them all in a little bag. This little bag was $1, the little spools in it. So yeah, such a find. And I also found, and couldn't help myself, now this was $5, which for me to spend is a little bit of money. But isn't she cute? So she can go on my little knicky wall. I just liked her. She was seriously cute. Yeah, little, no make or anything on it, but she was a cute little thing. And I like the turquoisey colour, which kind of goes with the environment here. So that was another little find. And then I always look in the doily patch, but generally there's nothing, you know, or it's been ratted through quite a lot and there's nothing left. But today was my lucky day. Look at this. It's got a lovely little, it's got a little mark on it, but that won't matter. It's a cute little thing, really good for a needle book. Very nice little doily. That's one there, and then another one. All hand stitched, purpley sort of, the oranges, and really cute little thing. Actually, I don't know whether that one is hand stitched. I'm not sure. Sometimes you just can't tell. But a lovely little thing anyway, good size. This little one, definitely hand stitched. Cute as. Nothing wrong with it either. There's no stains on that one. And then these, I have a really nice little cup and saucer. And I've been looking for some autumn leaves because it's a reddy autumny sort of colour. Look. I don't know which is the right, oh no, that's the wrong side, definitely. That's the right side. And there were two of them. Look at that. So I'll be able to make another little gift and have the doily to go with it so it can all sit on it with a pen cushion in it. Oh, and also, which I collect, is a little bag, this little bag, sorry for the rustling, which was $1. And I collect little needle books. I love them. So I'm going to do a video later on. Look at this, it's a little needle book. How cool is that? And it's got the tiniest needles you've ever seen in there, like that. Really little needles. But however, you know, they really are tiny, but they've got a really big head on them. And oftentimes you find that sometimes these little needles, oh, they're the gold end needles. They're made out of far superior steel. And here on the coast, everything rusts. And there's another little one that was in there. So cute. Novelty needle book, 50 needles. These to get on eBay are so expensive, but how cute is that? And then on the other side, it's this little thing here. So what I should do is scan them in and then there's a little, oh, imagine if you got your needles like that today. How cute is that? That is the cutest thing, a little pop-up thing. So what I should do is scan them all in and then just put them up as a PDF for everybody to have, and they can put them in their needle books. And there's needles in these. Quite a nice lot of needles too. Not a lot of needles, but some needles. There's one more. I haven't opened this pack, but yeah, I'm just thrilled to bits to get this. I really am. So I had to put 100 gold eye needles with a threader, rust proof. Well, there you go. And they're not really rust proof, but they're very old. They're very rusty. But, however, it's a gorgeous little pack. Yeah. So I'll scan that one in as well. And what else is in here? Oh, some little Corbon buttons to cover. That'll be fun. Very big numbers on that. Oh, I won't be able to not see that. It's a fiberglass tape measure. They're always handy to have in the collection. Bit of Velcro. Oh, a bit of, not old black lace, but it's a nice bit of black lace. And what other treasures have they got in here? Oh, a monogram thing. Looks like the British Isles. The lion on it. Doesn't really say what it is. Somebody might recognise it. Could be a, you know, football badge or something. Something like that, maybe. What else is in here? A Prima thread. Don't know what that's all about, but anyway. And then, I love the way they used to have the needles. They've got the needles in the little packets. And another set of needles. Really old. No rust in them though. That's what I find, if you keep your needles in, especially here, they need to be kept in something. And another couple of bits of thread, some yellow thread. I don't actually have any yellow thread. Cha-cha, sweetie. I know it's a big dog. Oh, it's the neighbours are out with their dogs, so he's talking to them, having a chat. You're having a chat, Chachi? Yes, what a little find that was. Excuse my head going bobbing up and down. Just seeing if there's any other interesting. Yeah, there's another packet. So the whole box was full of all these threads. I thought, oh, you know what? A few reds. Sometimes you just want a colour of a thread for something, don't you? Really and truly. And at the end of the video, I've just been out and Maggie was out there. Maggie with a hungry baby, making a noise and singing to me. So I filmed them, but I didn't have any mince, which obviously must be their favourite. So I gave them some chicken I cooked up for the dogs, and they screwed their nose up and went, no, we want the mince. So hold on to the end of the movie and you'll see Maggie out on the veranda. All right, this time it's definitely Haru. See you next time. Bye. Bye, Ruby. Bye, Rochelle. You're going to sing me a little song, Maggie's. It's a little baby Maggie. I don't know. I'm not quite focused on him, but he's got sprouty bits on his head. It's very, very cute. There we go. Doesn't really seem to want to focus. And there's Mummy Maggie, I think. Maybe Mummy Maggie. Baby Maggie. This little sprouty head. Oh, that's not focusing. Another beautiful evening here on the coast. They go and cook inside there because they're not getting any food. They've already been fed. The surfies are out. Their wetsuits on, I would imagine. Hello, Maggie. Hello, baby Maggie. You are very cute. Yeah, let's put a bit of chicken there. I don't know if they like chicken. They don't seem very happy. They seem like they really would like the mince instead. Hello, Maggie Moo. Super cute.